Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie and today I'm going to read a book, a children's book. So here it is. The title of this book is Babysitter's Little Sister Karen's New Year, written by Anne Martin. So shall we start? Chapter 1. The day after Christmas. It was December 26th. It was the day after Christmas. Usually, when I wake up on the day after Christmas, I feel a little sad. That's because my favorite holiday is over. But then, I remember something. I remember the toys and presents I got the day before. That makes me feel better. Sometimes, I even feel excited. My name is Karen Brewer, and I'm finally 7 years old. I have blonde hair and some freckles. I wear glasses all the time. I have a little brother too. His name is Andrew. He is almost 5. Sometimes he's pain in the neck, but mostly I like him. My mommy and daddy are divorced. Here are some of the things I got for Christmas. Lots of books, a doll called Grow a Tooth, leg warmers that my nanny knitted for me, a special art kit, some clothes, and a game called Sorry. Andrew got a hat that Nanny knitted him. This excluding dino cars, an art kit like mine, and some other things. When I thought about my presents, I leapt out of bed. I put on all new clothes, a very short skirt, a big sweater that says Be Cool in it, and a pair of knee socks with the snowflakes all over them. I hadn't got new shoes, so I didn't put any shoes on. In the morning, Andrew and I sat around the living room. We played with our toys and looked at our books. At 11 o'clock, my friend Nancy Davis came round. She lives next door. She brought her baby grow a tooth with her. She had got baby grow a tooth for Hanukkah. Cool, I said. Our dolls can grow teeth together. Crash, smash. That was Andrew. He had run a car into the wall and it had exploded. The car, I mean, not the wall. Andrew put the car back together and then crushed it and exploded it again. Ring, ring, the telephone. I'll get it, I cried. I ran into the kitchen and answered the phone. Hi, sweetheart, it's Daddy, said the voice at the other end of the line. Hi, Daddy. Andrew and Nancy and I are playing with our new toys. That sounds like fun, said Daddy. Listen, is your mom there? I was thinking of having a party on New Year's Eve. It would be just the family, Nanny and Christy and your stepbrothers and everyone. Do you think you and Andrew could come? I paused. I was not sure. Sometimes Mommy and Daddy argue over who Andrew and I spend holidays with. Let me get Mommy, I said. So I did, and I got prepared for an argument, but there was no argument. You know what Mommy said? She said, that would be fine. Seth, he's my stepfather, and I have been wanting to go skiing. Do you think you could take Karen and Andrew for several days? That way they could go to the party and Seth and I could go skiing. Of course, Daddy said yes. Hooray! I shouted. Indoor voice, Karen, Mommy reminded me. She was still talking on the phone. Sorry, I said. Then I ran into the living room. Guess what? Guess what? I said, but not too loudly. Daddy is having a New Year's Eve party at the big house and we get to go, Andrew. Goody, he said. He exploded a car. Oh boy. Now I had another holiday to look forward to. So that was the end of the chapter 1. So let us proceed to chapter 2, the two tools. By now, you're probably wondering a lot of things. I bet you're wondering what the big house is. I bet you're wondering why Mommy and Daddy argue about the holidays. And I bet you're wondering whose nanny is. Well, as I said before, Mommy and Daddy are divorced. They used to be married to each other. That was when they had Andrew and me. But now they're not married anymore. They both love Andrew and me very much, but they decided they didn't love each other. So they got divorced. But that was not the end of things. Then they both got married again. Mommy married Seth and Daddy married Elizabeth. Elizabeth is my stepmother. When the divorce happened, Mommy moved Andrew and me out of Daddy's big house and into a little house. Then she and Seth got married, and Seth moved in. He brought his dog Midgie and his cat Rocky with him. Oh, we have another pet, my rat Emily Jr. Things around the little house are pretty quiet. The big house where Daddy grew up is not quiet. That is one reason I like it so much. First of all, Elizabeth has 4 children. They are Sam and Shirley, who are at high school, David Michael, who's 7 like me, and Christy's 13, and I love her very much. She's a babysitter. She even has her own sitting business. She is the chairman. Christy is my favorite babysitter in the whole world. Guess what? At the big house, I also have an adopted sister. Her name is Emily. Emily Michelle. I called my rat after her. She came from Vietnam, which is far away. Emily is two and a half. She doesn't talk much. Another person at the big house is Nanny. I think of her as my grandmother, even though she is Elizabeth's mother. That makes her my step-grandmother. Nanny moved in to take care of Emily while Daddy's and Elizabeth are at work. Plus, there are a cat and a dog at the big house. Boo Boo is Daddy's old cat, and he spits and scratches. Shannon is David's Michael's puppy. You know what? I call my brother Andrew Tutu. I call myself Karen Tutu. That's because we have two of so many things. I got the name from a book that my teacher read us. It's called Jacob Tutu Meets the Hooded Fang. Andrew and I have 2 houses. We live with Mommy and Seth most of the time. We live at Daddy's big house every other weekend. We have 2 mothers, 2 fathers, 2 dogs, and 2 cats. I even have 2 best friends. Nancy Davis lives next door to Mommy. Honey Papadakis lives across the street and 1 house down from Daddy. Honey and Nancy and I called ourselves the 3 Musketeers. Andrew and I have 2 of lots of other things. We have toys and books and games and clothes at each house. I have bicycle at each house, and Andrew has a tricycle at each house. Plus, I have 2 stuffed cats that are just the same, except for their names. Moosey stays at the big house, and Goosey stays at the little house. Being tutus is mostly okay. We don't have to remember to pack much when we go back and forth between houses. But some things about being tutus are not okay. I only had 1 special blanket, Tickly. I keep leaving Tickly behind at one house or the other. Finally, I had to rip Tickly in half so I could have a piece of at each house. I hope that didn't hurt Tickly. Then, there is the problem with holidays. Mommy and Daddy both want to celebrate all that holiday with us. Usually, we end up having 2 holidays, but sometimes Mommy and Daddy argue. That was why I was so happy when Mommy let Andrew and me go to the big house for New Year's Eve. No arguments. So that's the end of chapter 2, the 2 twos. Thank you for listening. See you next time.